All right, guys. 24th cut. Deeper concave on our swirl ramp on the center of the cylinder side, coming in off the short side. I also added a little bit of area to the pinch from the divided wall. Not a lot. Just enough that I thought maybe I could even the speeds up a bit. But it's an interesting test because I think that's the best liquid we've had on the chamber to date. Let's take a look at the bore. Give me your opinion, but I think that is pretty damn good. It's nice and wide and it's spread across. Yes, we have some drip action, but that's okay. Okay, our valve is back to a much wider swath across it than we've been seeing. Interesting stuff, guys. Wow. Okay, that's really wide, and it's coming way up on this side now. Interesting. But it's not as deep into the bowl as it was. Well, that makes sense why it gave us so much of a nicer pattern on the chamber. Now, if I was just able to move it over a little bit more, that's also interesting. Here, take a look. Look at how much straighter this is now, right? It was more of an angle, and now it's straightened up a little bit. Because I changed this side of the ramp, it's gonna change the way the air exits on this half of the bowl here. Let me turn this around. Let's just take a quick look down its throat, and then we'll change it around and give a different view. Wow. Definitely nice and wide in that bowl. You can see how it's heading way across, over all the way to the plug. I really like it, guys. Let me know if I'm wrong. You know what else I had to do? I had to take some area out of that left wall that we're looking at right now. And I did some speed measurements. That wall is stupid fast, which means it wants me to do some more work to it, which will change things. And even though I really kind of like where we are right now, I think I may even put a little star on the top of that page. That way we can always look the video up and see how we did. It did fatten up the curve nicely, but it didn't peak out quite as much. See, Stevie don't like that. He wants it to peak out better. Meanwhile, I want it nice and fat. I have good reason for that. Okay, I actually remembered to put the clay in place. We have other clay over here. You can see I actually forgot to clean it. It's full of metal filings, which I'm sure didn't help. And you can see where I whacked it with the Pitot a couple times. In any case, it's not perfect in every way like wifey, but it's going to have to be the way it is. Tough to get in there and get some decent lighting. Let me change it around a little bit. Okay, trying to show you how I've changed it. Okay, since, I'll one-hand this for you. Took quite a bit of metal out of this area here. Okay, so it's exiting. This actually exits like on this kind of an angle here. Because it's coming around and this is curved. This is all concave curve. Must be wifey, hold on. Okay, trying to give you guys a view. Now, I did a couple things different, and, you know, it's like 24 cuts in and on and off the bench a million times, and I'm going to have to do more than one little thing at a time. But when I did some string action, I noticed how the air was fighting. It would sit on this side, and then it would jump to this side, and it would go on this side, because I had a relatively sharp edge here. So I decided to smooth that edge out a little bit more, which I figured by doing so will send more around this part of the helix and probably knock our swirl up a touch. And our swirl did go up a little bit, even though this, well, actually it should, because this is coming up at a different angle. It's not going directly against our high helix flow as much. Now, we've had a suggestion of changing this helix, making this straighter here. And I think they're on the right idea. I was thinking about that myself, and I'd like to get them. I mean, if you can take a look, if you take a look right at the guide here, right? The different angles they're coming in on. If I sculpt this to be quite a bit similar, it'll change our angle like this, I think, a little bit more, which might be good. Here, I'm going to take a different, I want you guys to take a different view of this. Let me see if I can change the lighting. All right, guys, doing what I can. What I'm thinking more and more is, like our line here, if I could, I might be able to straighten it up a little bit more. But if you take a look, right, our shrouding, how can I say that? Our shrouding, let's say, starts right around here, right? It starts to get tighter. And our shrouding starts right about here. I see my light just died. So that's literally half of our bowl. We take that divider and put it right in the middle. What do you think? It's worth a try, right? I mean, why not? This is the junk head. I'm already, what, 50 CFM above where I figured I could get this pile of garbage. So we got nothing to lose. And besides, experimentation is fun. Now, if I could just get paid what the guys at the tire place get paid an hour, do they really get $150 an hour to put tires on? Is that really the labor rate? Or I just imagined I saw that. Jeesh, putting tires on Whippy's car. What a nightmare. Okay, let's do our hit or miss flows and speeds. 23rd cut, 24th cut. Deeper concave ramp, add small area to pinch. Okay, how'd we do? Well, plus, fattening my curve up to 500. Remember, guys, why is this part of the curve important? We see these numbers twice. Meanwhile, we only see these numbers once. Keep that in mind, okay? Even if Stevie goes off the reservation and puts a 700 lift cam in there, this would be a winner, wouldn't it? Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong freaking one. Dummy. Okay, even if we went 600 lift, right? We only got two minuses. And we're still pretty good. It went from 295.6 to 293.8. By the way, this port was quieter than this port. I really should make a note on the pages how noisy they are, because that really is important. This one you could hear the two paths of the air colliding and fighting each other. This one was quieter. I mean, notice we got a couple CFM right at 300. Okay, 206.9, not a bad number, even though it is a big port. I promise I will see these, but not until I'm done fiddling with them some more. How'd we top out? Well, we went 311.4, which I think was our best number to date. With this, we did go down a touch to 308.8. Okay, but that's at an inch. So at 800, we got 301.1, 303.3, down a touch. Okay, let's take a look at our swirls, because our swirls are really, really starting to pique my interest. Okay, all the plus flows, all plus swirls, even got a couple plus swirls on our minuses, and then we lose, right? More flow here, more swirl. More flow here, more swirl. Interesting, right? So I added some area to our pinch. And what did it do? Well, this one had a dead spot in the roof, which I wasn't happy about. Now they're nice and even. I cranked it up to more lift than that, and they were dead even and well over 300. So in reality, it could still use more area at the pinch. Now remember, this is cut for a 1206 gasket. So may have to look at that some more. Let's move this stuff around so you can see the other speeds. Okay, all these air speeds are taken at 600 lift. So 600 lift, we're actually flowing up like 2 CFM less, right? So we went from 151 to 192. That cranked up a lot, but I think that was due to me getting rid of that sharp edge around the guide, making it a little bit easier for it to go around. But it did drop the cylinder wall of the roof down in speed. Okay. Neither here or there. Let's take a look at our short side. 308 to 305, that's a minus. 322 to 329, that's a plus. 318 to 305, minus. Dead even across it. Tough to beat. Even though it's got clay and all kinds of mess on it. That's kind of happening. Now, the center of the cylinder has that really fast wall. If I make that work better, that will increase the speed most likely. Okay, I mean, this may be the flow that's the tipping point, and everything I do after that will go downhill. We'll find out, because got to do it that way as far as I'm concerned. You know, what did somebody write in the comments? How do you know you've gone too far until you've gone too far? I like it. It makes sense to me. I'm pretty good at going too far. I mean, who else is stupid enough to fill two time cards on one part? One port. One port, literally. Yeah, stupid amount of time. And if I was just making $150 an hour for R&D, that would probably be worth it, wouldn't it? I know it would make wifey happy. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out and dealing with my mess. Can't wait to see what Stevie says now that I've fattened up that curve. It's gonna make his hair fall out, really. He's gonna go nuts. Can't wait. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good night.